We were talking about the importance of communication in modern era. Now we will be talking about what are the common forms of communication tools in modern era, and we'll be discussing about each tool, right? So let's start with the very first tool, which is digital communication tool. Digital communication tool is also known as electronic communication using digital platforms, right? So, when we talk about digital communication, it includes email, widely used for professional and personal communication, also allows for detailed and documented conversations. It offers it offers features like attachment of carbon copies, blind carbon copies, and the ability to organize conversation in threads. Next, in the digital communication is instant messaging, right? So instant messaging is also included in digital communication, which includes platforms like Slack, WhatsApp, and Microsoft Teams, which offers real-time text communication. They support multimedia sharing, group chats, and integration with other tools. So this includes digital communication. When we talk about digital communication, it includes email and instant messaging. In instant messaging, there are many much platforms like WhatsApp, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and many more, right? Which help you to interact in real time. Moving on to the next form is social media. When we talk about digital communication, it includes social media also, right? Let's see what is mentioned there in social media. When we talk about social media platforms, it includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Earlier, TikTok was into the scenario it was running, but as of now, some other apps related to TikTok are there. So it facilitates both personal and professional interactions. They support text, images, videos, and also supports live streaming. So the next category comes here is of video conferencing. Tools like Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams enables us for face-to-face communication over long distances, right? So we, by sitting at our locations, by using these apps, we can do video conferencing or face-to-face communication, right? They include features like screen sharing, virtual backgrounds, and recording as well. So this was all about the video conferencing tool. Next comes is the blogs and the blog. So websites and platforms like Medium, YouTube, and Vimeo allow individuals and organizations to share longer form content such as articles and videos. When we talk about articles, when we talk about something which is in writing, then we are talking about the blogs, right? But when we are talking about the videos, the audio visual content, then we are talking about the vlogs, that is videos, right? Moving to the next type. The next type is mobile communication. Mobile communication includes short message service, text messaging service, component of most telephone. Short message service includes the text service of like most of the mobile phone using internet and mobile device system. It uses standardized communication protocol, right? There is a short message service in everyone's mobile phone, so they may use it as a form of communication. And there is also, apart from SMS, there is multimedia messaging service, MMS, which is the extension of message medium, right? Or short message service. So that supports the sending of multimedia content like images, audios, and videos. So this is all about multimedia service. Next comes is the mobile apps. Mobile apps, these apps specifically are designed for communication, such as messaging apps include WhatsApp, WeChat, when we talk about social media, there is a Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, and professional networking applications like LinkedIn, right? So these are the examples, or we can say these are the tools which we use for mobile communication, right? Let's start with the next tool, collaborative communication. Next category of modern communication tool is collaborative communication. What does this tool helps in? This tool helps you in project management by giving you the project management software, by collaborating the documents using Google Workspace, using Microsoft Office 365 and Dropbox, right? So apart from this, there is also a facility of extranet and intranet, which is provided by the employers. So here the internal software, which is the internal network, which is used by the people within the organization, is known as intranet, and the people outside the organization, like your business partners or your customers, will be using the extranet. So all these are the sources from where they can get the information about new updates, new product line, or they can also act as a resource libraries, right? So collaborative communication includes project management tools like Trello, Asana, Basecamp that facilitate team communication and collaboration of projects. They not only offer task management but also helps in file sharing and team messaging. So this in turn what creates is it's create a good sense of effective communication throughout the team and among the team members, right? So when we were talking about the collaborative documents, it includes tools like Google Docs, Microsoft Office, 365 Microsoft Office, and Dropbox. So this allow multiple users to edit documents simultaneously, or we can say at the same time, supporting comments and viewers history and versions history, right? So you can what you can do over here is you can like you have shared some file, and uh, you may update it simultaneously, right? People can use update it simultaneously. So there is no need for uh, we can say doing mails and all. We can share it using these documents as well, right? Although we used to share it on mails as well, but if we install these applications, if we use these applications, then file sharings and editing becomes more easy. So let's switch to the other tool, visual communication. Next tool is infographics. Infographics, these are the graphical visual representation of information, data, or knowledge intended to present information quickly and clearly. So, what infographic here is saying that to understand clearly and to understand in a more effective manner, the graphs, the visuals, the information are represented in a better form, in a better graphical manner, so that they are easy to retain, easy to memorize, and should have a long lasting impact. So that's why visual communication is very impactful, as we have discussed on in our previous sessions also. The impactful communication is the audiovisual communication, right? The presentations. In presentation, we use tools like PowerPoint, Keynote, and Prezi, which is used to create a very attractive slideshow presentation for conveying information, for meetings, for lectures, and for conferences, right? Next comes is virtual reality and augmented reality. When we talk about these virtual reality and augmented reality, we are talking about the technologies which are providing information that is immersive explanations, immersive experience for training programs, for training presentations, simulations, and which include virtual reality meetings and augmented reality product demonstrations. So, this virtual reality and augmented reality technologies are very much in popularity, are trending. Why? Because this helps you to provide immersive experience by making the person realize that yes, they are into the scenario, we can say the 3D effect can be felt, and more of a 3D effect can be felt in using virtual reality. So this is all about visual communication. Let's switch to the another type of communication is audio. When we talk about audio communication, it means the podcasts, the voice notes, and the voice assistants, right? So when we talk about audio communication, we talk about digital audio files which are available for download, which are often in series used for educational, entertainment, or informational purpose, right? So audio communication here includes what? The communication which we do by hearing or by listening, not by hearing, by listening, right? Because hearing is something which is passive, but here we are communicating. So when we are communicating, we have to make sure that we are a very good and an active listener, right? So you have to be an active listener if you are using audio communication. So what happens in podcast? In podcast, a series of educational interviews, or we can say entertaining interviews or informational purposes are used for, we can say, for airing a podcast. So these audio files are available for you. You may download it in your phone or in your laptop and may hear it according to your pace, right? So this is also very effective for motivating someone, for inspiring someone by hearing, by listening carefully, listening to the stories or the motivational journey of other people's, right? Next comes here is the voice notes. Voice notes here are the short voice recordings which is sent using messaging apps, useful for conveying tone and pronunciation and to get immediate feedback, right? So these can be voice note, can be sent over WhatsApp, right? So what you can do is you can do a voice message, you can record a message and send it instead of typing, instead of sending text. You send a voice message where you get the immediate response and immediate feedback, right? Next comes is voice assistant. Voice assistants are AI powered, artificial intelligence powered assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant, which facilitates hands free communication and information retrieval. So you are very much like convenient when you are using Alexa or Google. You may instruct them, they will do the things which you are instructing. If you want to make a phone call to your parents, to your friends, you may ask Alexa or Google Assistant to do, or you may ask for surfing them some topic over the internet. So you may instruct them, they will work according to your instructions, right? And will give you the desired results. Next type of communication, we'll be talking about next type of communication, that is unified communication and collaboration. When we talk about unified communication and collaboration, it includes integrated platforms. Here we are talking about integration of all the communication technologies, right? The email, the instant messaging, voice notes, video calls, video conferencing, everything into a single interface. When we combine all these channels into a single interface, then we can say we call it integrated platforms, right? So what happens is it enhances the workflow efficiency and reduce the need for switching between different tools. For example, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and Slack. So what these applications do over here is they used to combine all these channels and then they provide a single interface to them, like Cisco WebEx or Microsoft Teams or Slack, right? So they are the example of unified communication, or we can say the collaboration. Next comes the cloud communication. When we talk about the cloud communication, it is the cloud telephony, voice over internet protocol, which is known as VoIP, voice over internet protocol, like Ring Central, Zoom Phone, and Vonage, which provide phone service over the internet, right? So what happens here in cloud communication? You speak using an internet protocol like Zoom Phone, Vonage, or RingCentral. So these are the applications over here from which you can use these service over the internet. Next comes cloud storage and file sharing. So as it is very in day-to-day activities, in day-to-day life, we use these cloud storage and file sharing apps in day-to-day working also. Service like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive are used for easy sharing and collaboration of documents and file which are stored in the cloud can be shared and accessed anytime, right? So this also helps in easy communication or easy file sharing. Next comes is asynchronous communication. When we talk about asynchronous communication or asynchronous communication, then it is about a communication which is not done in real time, right? Which is not, suppose the chatting is not a live chat. You are doing communication via email where or the communication where you don't get the immediate feedback, right? So is known as asynchronous communication. So here can be the discussion boards, the email list, and the newsletters. So what happens over here is using online forums and message boards like Reddit, Discourse, where users can put their feedback and respond at their convenience, right? So what happens that you can respond according to your convenience. So this also helps in communicating, because if you're not communicating in real time, you must have some channel so that you can go and collect the feedbacks or the responses afterwards. So using these Reddit, Discourse, you may get the responses and feedback afterwards, right? Next comes the we can say email list and newsletter. Here, these are the basically subscription based services. When you are going to take subscription, they'll be giving you the information, updates, and promotion to a list of recipients, right? Forever, like for whatever you have taken the subscription, you will be getting the updates accordingly. Next comes is real-time communication. When we talk about real-time communication, it is a synchronous communication by because we are able to get the immediate feedback, right? For example, live chat, where customer service tools are enabling instant communication with the customers. They support the agents also, for example, Intercom, live chat, Zendesk chat, and for example, webinars, using online webinars to allow real-time presentation, query handling sessions, and interactive polling, right? So these also helps you in creating a real-time communication by providing a real-time feedback as well. So these were the different types of modern communication tool. Let's see what we'll be going to discuss. Now we'll be discussing about the merits and demerits of modern communication. So as we have discussed the different tools, we'll be discussing their merits and demerits accordingly. So number one, we have discussed was digital communication. So the merits of digital communication over here is provides a written record of communication. It as it is an email, so there is everything is in a written format. Allows for detailed and well thought out message. Can attach documents and multimedia files as a supporting evidence. Features like carbon copy, blind carbon copy, and threaded conversation improve organization, right? So these are the merits that it provides a written record of communication. It allows for detailed and well thought out messages. It can attach documents and multimedia files simultaneously, and it also has features like carbon copy, blind carbon copy, and the threaded conversation, which improves the organization's efficiency and working, right? So these are the merits of email. Let's see the demerits of an email. Now, what the demerits of email can be that it can be slow for urgent matters. The feedback may not be, we can say the very immediate feedback is not there, right? What else? It may lead to information overload as there will be a lot of trailing mails, so it can lead to information overload. Risk of spam and phishing attacks. Obviously, there are risk of spam because if there are too many mails, it is possible that they may get into the spam folder and the employee will not be able to access it, right? And there are always cyber attacks are always there, so we have to make sure of the confidentiality and authenticity should be maintained, right? Next comes is the instant messaging. So the next category in the digital communication is instant messaging. Instant messaging merits over here is it is a first of all a real-time communication. It supports multimedia sharing, facilitates group chats and team collaboration. It also integrates with other tools and platforms. So what happening is, what are the advantage over here is that that it is having a real-time communication. It supports multimedia sharing. It also facilitates group chats and team collaboration. And along with, they are also able to combine all the tools and platforms for effective communication. Next, demerit is the demerit of instant messaging is it can be distracting and lead to reduced productivity, right? It can lead to reduced productivity. It can lack formality or the formal structure of professional communication. As we are talking about professional settings, then in that particular case, we have to make sure that the communication is structured in a very formal manner. There is the limited ability to archive and organize conversation, right? You cannot put it them into the archive folder. You have to take care of the messages because there is a problem of organization and keeping the things or messages in a very organized way. Next comes is social media merits. Now, we are talking about social media. So there is a broad reach, it reach to masses, high engagement potential over there. It supports various media formats, example like images, videos, text, and live streaming, right? So social media merits over here is they supports various formats of text, of images, and videos, live streaming, and also useful for brand building and networking, right? And in real time updates can be shared and interacted. So the merit here is that it reach masses, it has various formats, it can be used for brand building, and it gives us the real time updates, right? So these are the merits of social media. So we were talking about the merits of social media. Now we will be talking about the demerits of social media. So the now we'll be talking about the demerits of social media. Let's see what are the disadvantage or demerits of social media. So when we talk about social media, people may misuse it, and there is cyberbullying, or we can say cyber crimes are always there. We have to take care of our privacy as it is always at stake. Your account may get hacked by the hackers. It may require significant time investment to manage effectively. So there are all sort of issues like you have to pay for managing it effectively. You have to invest there. You have to always take care of your privacy concerns, and there is always a chance of cyber crimes or cyber attacks, right? Next comes is video conferencing merits. Now, we'll be talking about the video conferencing merits. What are the merits of video conferencing? So, as it is the advantages, it is a face-to-face interaction. It enhances much understanding. We can understand by the facial expressions of the people as their words are going with the facial expressions or not. Features like screen sharing and recording are always there. It saves our time and cost, right? As it saves our time and cost. Why? Because we can we can do a meeting while clicking on our systems where at the convenient sitting, right? Where we are sitting from our geographical location, we can easily, on a single click, we can connect to people. The demerits over here is it requires a stable internet connection. It requires demerits can be if there must be a stable internet connection. If there will be no internet connection, the things might be there will be issues and they will not run properly. Technical issues can disrupt the meetings, can lead to Zoom fatigue with excessive use, right? So it can also lead to Zoom fatigue with excessive use. So we have to try to make sure we are having a good internet connection, must look for technical experts so that we should avoid the barriers. So as everything has plus and minus, so this also have these type of demerits. Moving towards the next category, blogs and blogs merits. So the merits over here is that allows for detailed and long form content, can establish authority and expertise. It engages a wide audience through storytelling and visual content, right? So the merits here is that we can use over the good content, good subjective content can be used, and it helps you and it allows you to put a good subjective amount of content. It establish authority, and you can also engage a good mass of audience by narrating a story or sharing your daily life experiences by using visual content, right? The demerit of it is time consuming and it is time consuming as you have to create a very high quality content. It requires consistent updates to maintain audience interest, right? You have to take care about your audience interest and must have to check what competitive space you are there in. So you have to stand out of the crowd. You have to make your own different content. You have to be a competitive edge over your competitors, right? So next is mobile communication. When we talk about the other form of communication over here is mobile communication. So the in mobile communication, we are talking about short message service, multimedia service. So let's see what are the merits of short media service. Short message service. The merit over here is universally supported on mobile devices. It is simple and quick for short messages. It doesn't require an internet connection, right? So if you're not having any internet connection, you must have a recharge in your mobile phone so that the SMS must work, right? So the demerit here is limited character is count, like only limited number of words can be used in a one text. No multimedia support is over there and can be costly depending on the plan, right? If you're, it depends totally on the recharge plan, which tariff plan you are going for, how many messages you can you avail in that particular pack. So it is a bit costly as compared to uh, other forms of mobile communication, right? Next comes the multimedia messages. So multimedia message service here supports multimedia content. It is accessible almost on all mobile phones. It has a very good audio visual content and can be easily understood, right? The demerit can be it can be more it is more expensive than short message service. It is dependent on device compatibility. Obviously, your device is supporting the MMS or not. If not, then it cannot be run. Larger files may not be supported. So we have to make sure about what amount of file there is, what sort of device we are using so as to run it, right? Next comes mobile apps merits. Now we'll be talking about mobile applications. So here we are talking about these specialized apps cater to different communication needs, convenience and accessibility on the go. Often include rich features like multimedia sharing, voice and video calls. So what happening is over here is your mobile app is having a very specialized apps to cater a particular segment. For example, there is a Snapchat which is catering to that particular requirement. There is a another app, say music app, or we can say there is some um, traveling app. So any app which you have installed it in your mobile phone will provide you convenience and accessibility according to the demand. And demerits, it can consume much internet data and live battery. It is also allows security and application permissions. So there is also internet, we can say safety is not there. So we have to check on the authenticity part, and notifications can be tiring for you. And as there are too many of pop-ups are there on your mobile phones on the notification, so it can be tiring for you, or at sometimes you may not find it very comfortable, right? So we'll be discussing the other demerits of the other app of the other communication tools also. We'll continue it further.